Hey guys, OG Albina here, bringing you guys my UPBA Week 5 match against John Jr. in his Portland Nightshaders. Very big match this week. We have picked up 2 straight after a rough 0-2 start, so we're sitting right here at 500, 2-2, so this is a very big game. A game we definitely want to win and pull out, just to go above that 500 mark and keep our momentum going and all that. But yeah, with that being said, let's just jump into the team builder portion of the battle just so you guys can get a background knowledge on what I'm bringing, why I'm bringing it, and his potential mods that he can bring. So if you did forget our roster, it consists of the Aegislash, Mega Gallade, Suicune, Sylveon, Decidueye, Diggersby, Aerodactyl, Hydreigon, Garbodor, and Combuskin, with our Z users being Hydreigon and Decidueye. And our opponent's roster consists of, let me grab it really quick, I forget exactly the Monty has. I know the big threats, but I forget the exact full 11 or 12 or whatever it is. So he has the Kyurem Black, Scolipede, Metagross, Mega Diancie, Rotom Wash, Dhelmise, Crocodile, Volcanion, Audino, Girder, and Frogadier, with these users being Kyurem Black, Audino, and Frogadier. So right off the bat, biggest threats to me in particular, in my opinion, are going to be that Kyurem Black, that Scolipede, ST Scolipede terrifies me. That thing really does rip through my team. It's actually really, really scary. The Mega Diancie can be very scary. And the Volcanion, I don't switch into the Volcanion's dual stabs very well. But with that being said, let's just jump into the 6 I'm bringing. First off, we have a Aegislash right here, rocking out with another offensive set, very similar to our set last week versus Zombie, rocking with a Sugar Berry, Flash Cannon, Shadow Ball, King Shield, and Autotomize. 124 HP, 156 special attack, and 228 speed with a timid nature. I believe the speed at +2 is enough to outpace, I want to say, a Scarf Kyurem Black. I could be completely wrong, but I believe that's what it's for. Sugar Berry Tour. Everything he has to hit this on his team really needs ground coverage to do so. The Kyurem Black, the Scolipede, the Mega Diancie. It helps with the Crocodile if for some reason he doesn't want to go for the knockoff because it's contact and he doesn't want to get King Shield worn down and stuff like that. Everything really does want to hit us with a ground type move, and to potentially have one of those and either throw off an Autotomize or throw off a big Shadow Ball or Flash Cannon could be super, super nice. But yeah, that's going to be Aegislash. Next up, we have our Mega Gallade here, rocking out with a Close Combat, Zen Headbutt, Taunt, Swords Dance set, 236 attack, 20 speed def, and 252 speed with a Jolly nature. So the max speed Jolly is obviously 2 speed tie with the Mega Diancie. The Taunt, I believe, is for things like the Rotom Wash that want to potentially come in and burn us as a way to stop us from really plowing through his team at +2. Honestly, I just really need dual stab, and I can kind of just clap everything. I believe the Spadef is to take 2 Hydro Pumps from non-invested Rotom Wash. I could be wrong, but I believe that is what it's for. And at +2, this thing kind of just OKOs his entire team. So if we can get up to +2, and we can kind of just start clicking buttons and breaking through things. Next up, we have our Diggersby, rocking out with the Life Orb, Return, Spikes, Earthquake, and U-Turn, 92 speed. 92 HP, 220 attack, and 196 speed with a Jolly nature. So I believe the speed is for a max speed Metagross. The spikes are very good versus his team. His removal is very meh, in my opinion. He has the Rotom Wash, he has the Dhelmise, which can definitely be a problem for this, and he has the Magic Bounce and Mega Diancie. So I figure getting out spikes and potential force switches, because Diggersby does force a lot of switches in this match. So if I can potentially get the spikes in that way, I feel like it'll help chip down his team very, very well. Next up, we have our speed control in a Choice Scarf Hydreigon. Levitate ability, obviously, U-Turn, Dark Pulse, Dragon Pulse, and Flash Cannon. 20 defense, 252 special attack, and 236 speed with a timid nature. This is just going to serve as our speed control. And outpace is Kyurem Black, I believe. Just in case he has a Scarf Kyurem Black, I figured it would be nice to have that. You can outpace the Mega Diancie and kill it with the Flash Cannon. Dual Stabs is very good versus his team. Excuse me. And this also gives us a check to things like the Metagross, to the Dhelmise, stuff like that. And it gives us momentum and U-turn and stuff like that. Just slowly chipping down his team. If Mega Diancie goes down, this is honestly really, really good versus his team. Next up, we have our Aerodactyl, rocking out with a pretty cool set. We have the Pachot-Berry, which weakens a water-type super effective move. Rocking out with the Rock Slide, Stealth Rock, Earthquake, and Roost. 84 HP, 68 attack, 252 defense, a 4 spadef, and 100 speed with a jolly nature. So this is going to be our Scolipede check. This is kind of what I had to resort to with how good Scolipede matched up versus me, in my opinion. The Peugeot Berry is obviously for Aquatail. I feel like Aquatail is a much more likely bring than Rock Slide. And it obviously hits my Aerodactyl a lot harder. With the Peugeot Berry and our investment, I believe we live a +2 Aquatail after Rocks. It could be a +2 Z Aquatail after Rocks. Wait, no, he's not Z. It's +2 Aquatail after Rocks, I believe. Life Orb. But yeah, the rest is thrown into attack and speed for what we need to outspeed and all that. And then next up, we have a physically defensive Sylveon, rocking out with the Berry, Pixelated Ability, Wish Protect, Hyper Voice, Hidden Power, Ground, max HP, max defense. This is going to serve as a Wish Patch to this game. It's going to serve as a check all physical check to a good majority of his team just to take them on. Especially the Crocodile. The Crocodile is very, very scary versus my team. The Berry is for potential like Cure Iron Heads or Flash Cannons. That definitely helps with that. And yeah, just it serves as a good, pivot into things. Lets me wish up my Aegislash, my Hydreigon because I'm not Roost. It lets me wish up my Diggersby potentially. Just a good support for the whole team overall and all that stuff. But yeah, with that being said, let's just jump right into the battle. Hey guys, alright guys, here we are with the battle. Man, I stole my words right in the beginning. Looking at the team that John elected to bring, looks like he went with the Rotom Wash, Metagross, Volcanion, Frogadier, Mega Diancie, and the Dhelmise. So right off the bat, I see no Scolipede, which is a huge sigh of relief because, like I said, it was very, very scary versus my team. I really didn't deal with it all too well, in all that honesty. But again, the rest of his team still is very, very threatening. In Reddit team preview, I see a Dhelmise, and I see that I very, very much so under prep for that Dhelmise. So it's going to be very, very much a big pain to deal with in this game. But right off the bat, I'm going to like to lead off with my Hydreigon. All of his potential Scarfers, I outspeed. There's no Curum, there's no Scolipede or anything like that, even though Scolipede would be Scarf, I guess. So this is very good speed control versus his team. It's good lead versus the Rotom as well. I don't really care about being burned, and I can kind of just slowly chip that thing down, in all honesty, which I'm totally fine with. So yeah, he is going to lead off with the Rotom, which is a very good lead, and I've seen John battle quite a bit, and he drafts Rotom a lot, and he loves to lead off with that thing. So it didn't surprise me in the least. As right here, I am just going to go for the Dark Pulse to try and get as much chip on this thing as I can. Like I said, I'm fine with being burned or anything like that, as I do get the Flinch, which is unfortunate because it's going to give us another free Dark Pulse, as he does reveal the leftovers right here. So I am going to throw off one more Dark Pulse because I am 3 KOing this thing, as he's probably more of a Fizdef, as he goes for the Thunder Wave. Now this really sucks. I didn't really think of this, and this is my bad, because this was so good versus his team. If I got rid of the Diancie, this thing honestly just kind of came in, and he really didn't switch into it very well at all. So late game, it could have been a great cleaner. But unfortunately, we are going to be paralyzed right here, as now he can pull the switch out into his Diancie, as I'm going to go for another Dark Pulse. And it's really not going to take too much in its base form before it goes Mega and all that stuff. So I am going to pull the switch out right here. I believe I go into my Sylveon. Yeah, I go into my Sylveon right here, as I know I'm never 2-hit KO'd by Diamond Storm, but never 2-hit KO'd by Moonblast or anything like that, as he elects to go for the Substitute, which is fine on my end, honestly, because, again, I can just kind of Hyper Voice and go through the sub. He does go for the Calm Mind, so he shows me the sub Calm Mind. I'm assuming he sub Calm Mind, Moonblast, Earth Power. That's a set I would, that's most likely, and that he needs the Earth Power to hit the AG, and then Moonblast hits pretty much the rest of my team. But he is going to go for the Calm Mind, as I do go for the Hyper Voice, and we're going to see right here that this is actually potentially a 2-hit KO. Not 100%, but it looks like it was a roll. As he is going to switch out, and he's going to choose to preserve this thing, is right here. I'm just going to go for another Hyper Voice. There's no reason for me to predict and go for a Hidden Power Ground, as I could potentially knock him out through the sub. As right here, he is going to take a pretty decent chunk for that Hyper Voice, in all honesty. As right here, I'm going to pull the switch out into my my Hydreigon. It is my least useful member, and I kind of want to gauge and check and see what this thing wants to go for. As he goes for the Meteor Mash, and we're going to see that is a banned in Metagross. That is 100% choice banned. It does so much damage right there. Right here, he's going to pull the switch out back into his Diancie. As I'm going to go for the Dark Pulse, and being that he has not Mega'd yet, this league isn't first turn Mega. If he would have Mega'd, we would have knocked him out right there. But being that he didn't, he safely, smartly preserved that and stuff like that. he is going to be able to live that hit, and he's going to be able to throw off the Moonblast right here, I believe, and just knock out our Hydreigon, which is a big problem, as you're going to see, because now I don't have a pivot into that Dhelmise. It wasn't much of a pivot anyways, being that I was paralyzed, but it was something at least. It gave me a sack at least. But down goes that, as I am going to go out into my Aerodactyl. This isn't a very, very useful member, in all honesty, being that the, what do you call it? The Scolipede didn't come. I guess I can check the Volcanion, because I can eat a Steam Eruption with my Peugeot. But right here, he's going to pull the switch out into his Dhelmise right here. And I'm going to throw out the Earthquake, and this is going to do pretty much next to nothing. And this is when I realize this thing is a huge problem. I don't have anything to switch into it. I have a chance to potentially live this Anchor Shot, so I'm just going to get up my Stealth Rocks. Again, this is not a very useful member on my team, and I kind of just want to sack something off and, go into something else to take it down. As he does go for the Anchor Shot, and he does actually get the roll and knock us out. At this point, I don't know if it's a roll because he could be Choice Banded or something like that, as I am going to pull a switch out into my Glade. And this is where you're kind of thinking, what? Hey, why did you go into your Glade when you have an Aegislash in the back? A full health Aegislash that does a huge chunk to this thing. Well, that's because I forgot that Dhelmise was like base 45 speed. I thought that Dhelmise was base 75 speed. For some reason in my head, I didn't decide to check, and I was like, oh, this thing's really fast, and it's really a big threat versus my team. So I didn't check at all. And, yeah, instead of going into the 1-1 that could probably Oko this thing, I go out into one of my win cons, and I just say, oh, no, let's just try and get some chip off for my Diggersby or something in the back. Maybe I can flinch him or scare him out with a knockoff or something like that. But I'm going to go into my Mega Glade right here, and I'm just going to throw off his Zen Headbutt, because I don't have anything else to really hit this thing. And I'm going to do about 50%. I'm going to do a huge chunk to it, as right here, he is just going to go for the Shadow Claw, and he's going to just clean knock out my Glade right here. So we know he's not choiced, at least, but this game's looking really rough, because I was an idiot, and I decided not to double check and see what this thing's speed stat was. Now right here, I'm going to go out into my Diggersby. I'm going to go for the U-turn, because it has it's a potential roll to knock him out, thinking that we are Life Orb and stuff like that. But unfortunately, we don't. I don't know his HP investment, so it could have not been a roll. Who knows? Right here, I am just going to go out into my Sylveon, as he, I believe, goes for a Power Whip. I want to say he goes for a Power Whip. Yeah, he goes for a Power Whip, and it's going to do a huge, huge chunk to my Sylveon. It's not going to Oko it, but it's going to bring it down below half to where it's not as useful. And then I'm going to go for the Hyper Voice, and I am going to knock out this Dhelmise. Much later than I should have. I sacked half my team to it when I really didn't need to. I could have just went into my Aegislash and Shadow Balled it and knocked it out, because it wasn't very HP invested. But right here, he's going to go into the Frogadier. And I kind of I don't really know what this thing wants to go to. I can't really switch into anything else. I feel like my Diggersby and my Aegislash are more important, as he's going to go for the Gunk Shot, and he is going to land, and he is going to knock us out with the Gunk right here. So down goes our Sylveon, unfortunately, and this game is looking very rough. The only thing that can potentially do it is going to be our Aegislash in the back. I'm going to go into my Diggersby to try and get chip on things, potentially. The Diancie is potentially in range of rock, so I'm not as scared of that, and I can potentially outspeed everything else depending on what he is. As right here, he is going to go for the Darkinium Z, actually. So this is one of his Z users, and he brought Z Frogadier versus me. And this is probably more so for the Aegislash. But regardless, this is going to be able to do a huge, huge chunk to my Diggersby, being that is Stab, and, Diggersby isn't the most bulky mod in the world, in all honesty. So this is going to do a huge chunk. Actually, it's going to kill us, because that wouldn't have killed us regardless without that, but he did end up getting a crit, which kind of just hurt our diff, in all honesty. I don't know if we could have pulled this game back regardless, because spoilers, we're actually, this game's pretty much sealed at this point. As right here, he's going to go for the Dark Pulse. This is where I wish I was Weakness Policy. And I'm kicking myself for not running Weakness Policy and wanting to guarantee and get up this thing, but most of the time, I'm going to live a super effective hit anyways, and if I can get +2/+2, I probably would have won this game at this point. Because right here, I am going to be able to autotomize up, and then I'm going to get off a Flash Cannon, and that's going to knock out this this Frogadier. So it is, we do bring it down to 4-0, at least at this point. But at this point, his Volcanion is not in range, unfortunately. It's just not in range of my Aegislash. If I was +2, it definitely would be. I'd definitely knock out everything left in this game with a Shadow Ball and a Flash Cannon. But unfortunately, my best win con at this point is hoping he misses a move that he goes for. I'm going to go for the King Shield just to, I don't know, kind of give myself an extra turn. As he's going to go for the Steam Eruption right here. As I believe this turn, I am going to go for a Shadow Ball, and just kind of hoping he either misses the Steam Eruption, because I believe he can miss, or that he misses the like Fire Blast or something like that. Right here, I am going to go for the Shadow Ball. You're going to see this does about 50%. So if I was +2, we'd definitely knock this thing out after Rocks. But unfortunately, he is going to live, throw off the Fire Blast, and knock out our Aegislash. And we are going to lose this game 4-0 to John Jr. Good game to him. He definitely out-prepped us and outplayed us. I am very, very disappointed in myself and how I played this game. I was beating myself up after this game for a good while. Forgetting the speed stat in the mod and having that be such a pivotal role in the game is really, really, really tough. Honestly, it really does suck. But unfortunately, we all have those games. We all have games where we just play like absolute crap. And hopefully next week we can bounce back and I can give you guys a bit of a better game to watch, in all honesty, than this one. This is definitely a complete wheelchair. But next week, I believe we play Storm and I think it's San Diego Sneasels. He has a really cool team with like Celesteela, Mega Venusaur, stuff like that. So it'll be fun to prep for, fun to play for. And I did make one transaction in between weeks. I did want to mention it really quick here. I'll probably mention it in the next video as well. But I did swap my Z users. I swapped it from Decidueye being able to use Z to Aerodactyl. I felt like the role in which I drafted Decidueye in this draft was more so as a pivot, as a fat grass, stuff like that. Where Aerodactyl could kind of take advantage of running Z-Rock or Z-Fly or something like that, or Tectonic Rage or something like that, much more easily than Decidueye will in most matchups. I really don't think if it comes, it's going to, be an offensive breaker or anything like that. But yeah, with that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video. Be sure to subscribe so you can catch that as it goes up, and all our league battles and showdown lives and all that stuff, which we recently started bringing to the channel. And thank you guys so much for watching. Later.